This will be your revising lesson for the narrative writing piece. You will work your way through each step. The first step is to check your MLA header. Make sure that your name and my name and all the components are there, and they are double spaced at the left margin. Please double check to make sure that you have removed the space after paragraph after you have double spaced it. Next, you are reviewing your point of view to ensure that it is either first or third person. Get rid of you and your. Those are second person. The only acceptable place for those is in quoted dialogue, within the dialogue. You need to make a choice to keep it personal, first person, such as I went, my dog was, we, us, those types of pronouns, or keep it in the objective third person using pronouns such as he, her, they. Go through your paper and mark each you and your with the delete sign from your revising marks paper, and check to make certain that you are continuing the first or third person for the rest of your paper. When you are finished with that step, please move to the next step. You're going to look through the writing and circle any forms of to be, which are linking verbs. You'll remove half of them and add action words in detail instead. Look for the words on the list below, am, be, is, are. You need to circle those words throughout your writing piece. And you also need to include the contractions such as isn't and aren't, which stand for is not and are not. Please complete this step. Make the changes that are necessary, count them up, and change half of them to add action words or detail to create an active voice rather than a passive voice in your paper. Here's an example. She was happy with the linking verb with the to be was, versus her smile covered her face and a light shined from her eyes. Much more interesting to read. Just as we were at Six Flags versus as we walked into the park, we saw roller coasters towering above us and happy people running around everywhere. Looking at these examples, go through and make your changes on your own writing piece. Next step, adverbs. You need to cross out adverbs like very and really. Instead of using these words, you can add more details and description as in the examples below. One rule of thumb, if you feel the need to use very or really, chances are you need a better word, a different word choice than the word you have chosen, or to add detail. When you have finished going through and doing that with your writing piece, continue to the next step. You need to be careful with your word choice. You need to cross out words that could be replaced with more detail. You want to avoid general, vague, or overused words such as good and great, nice, bad, the ones you see here on the list. Go through and cross out those words. You need to replace those words with more interesting, accurate words, more detailed words. When you finish this step, you may move to the next step. Next step is to make a wavy line under the repeated words. You want to avoid repeating words such as like, or pronouns such as he and she, it, they, them. And also be very careful that your pronouns have already had a noun identified that they are replacing. Sometimes if you have he or she, you have not mentioned the person prior to that, before that, so you may not, your reader may not recognize who that he or she is. So be certain that there is a named noun that goes with your pronouns, that is mentioned before your pronoun. Make that wavy line under each of those words and continue to the next step. Vary your sentence structure. Once you have completed changing the word choice from the prior step, you begin your sentences in different ways. A couple of different ways to do that is to try using an adverb such as finally, carefully, happily, or a prepositional phrase such as after the movie, during the journey, upon entering the house. You don't want to start all your sentences with the or I, and you're going to want to use a variation of simple, compound, and complex sentences, which we will see in another lesson. Look at your writing piece and make some changes using this concept. Last step for this revising lesson is to reread and compare your writing to the narrative rubric. Check for the main points on the rubric as they're listed below: setting, characters, etc. You can see these bolded on your narrative rubric. When you have completed all of these steps, you have finished the revising for this particular lesson. Good work. Make sure you share it with me when you're finished.